Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is February 27th, 2025, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights today, markets really mixed, almost in every category. But first, no major economic events scheduled for today. So let's just dive into it. Looking at the Forex symbols, the majors really consolidated across the board. Looking at the indices, the Dow Jones slides lower, while the NASDAQ really unchanged day to day. Now shifting over to commodities, gold tapers lower as well. And looking at the stocks, they're really mixed. We watched Tesla slide lower, while we saw Meta and NVIDIA get a nice bounce. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin gets a slight bounce. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Canadian dollar. It is consolidating. It did gain a little bit over the last day. You could see that, okay, just a little bit. But it looks like it's at the end of the move. And I'd be looking for it to actually retrace at these levels, okay? So that's looking at Canadian dollar. The other major pairs really not doing much. And the Japanese yen still teasing us on supportish level as it's turning its head higher for now. Okay, let's see what happens in the next couple of days. But I'd still keep it on the radar just to see any kind of breakout in either direction. Or maybe play that small play. Now jumping into commodities, gold continues to slide to 28.90. Looking at a 4-hour chart, if it does break this area, it could break lower. But most likely, you see the consolidation or the sell-off is actually getting less and less, which kind of implies that it's going to get a bounce. So I'd be looking for a bounce around these levels. Now jumping into the U.S. markets, starting out with the Dow Jones, we got a little bit of a bounce after a sell-off, a decent sell-off yesterday. You could see that a little bit clearer with that. Okay, we are in after hours trading and the markets are slightly higher this morning. Now looking at the NASDAQ, a little bit higher, but nothing really doing much. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. There are some stocks that were strong yesterday, some stocks that continue being unchanged yesterday, and some stocks that were weak yesterday. Okay, so let's go through the categories. All right, so Tesla being the weakest continues to slide below that $300 range, which is super important. That $300 is a very important price for Tesla. Now, looking at Facebook, the other direction, had a very decent bounce yesterday to 673 from its 630-ish, 650-ish level, excuse me. That's a decent bounce, okay, at least for Meta. The question is whether or not this is a dead cat bounce or this is a bona fide kind of reversal or beginning of a reversal to the upside. Now looking at some of the other strong stock yesterday, we mentioned NVIDIA had a decent day as that got beat up earlier in the week, but all intents and purposes, it's $3, okay? Not a big deal relatively to the size of its stock. Now looking at individual stocks, let's go through them, okay? There are some stocks that are strong. Okay, Amazon doing not much here. That's where I would put Amazon. JP Morgan getting a slight bounce. Okay, not anything big, but you got to keep them categorized because some of the ones that got beaten up the worst, all of a sudden they're strong, and that's really because there's a short squeeze. Okay, so keep that in mind as we'll have that later today. And looking at Bitcoin, finally getting a bounce after we dove south of 90K. We're right now at 86,000. Okay, 92K or 90-ish K would be my resistance-ish level, so that's what I would look for today. But the markets are really kind of absorbing all the information we have right now. There's a lot of things in the horizon, but it's pausing. The market pauses for sometimes. It's just breathing in the air and just trying to digest some of the things that have happened already since January. But looking into March, it's going to get much busier as we've got a lot of corporate earnings coming out. So this is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.